Well, hi everybody. Nature Fortress here, giving you a little different kind of update in this video. I think this is going to be the sort of opening episode of my kidney stone journey. So, I think the initial bout with kidney stones is actually documented in my Professor Fortress series. I forget which one that is, but anyway, it was about 3 years ago. Currently, the date is Thursday, December 21st, 2023. So about 3 years ago, around 10:30 at night, I had a sudden onset of pain in my right side, my right flank, as they call it. At first, I thought it was like appendicitis or something like that. Turns out it wasn't appendicitis. It was actually a 4 millimeter stone exiting my kidney, my right kidney, and beginning its journey down the ureter tube. That was excruciatingly painful, I might add. So much so that it was like taking my breath away how bad it hurt. And I had to call 911 for myself. And mind you, I'm a pretty healthy, strong guy. I'm 38 years old. I'm single. I have a job at the university teaching music, theater, and dance. Um, I used to ride my bike a lot. I exercise and so on. So it was kind of like, what the heck? Why am I having a kidney stone issue? My diet is pretty good. I eat the Mediterranean diet essentially. But just people manufacture these types of byproducts, and they accumulate in our kidneys and other areas, and this is just one of those results. So yeah, I went down to the hospital in the ambulance. They tried to give me fentanyl as a painkiller, and I refused it, even though I was in excruciating pain. Like, I don't want to be anywhere near that kind of stuff. Anyway, I go to the hospital. They scan me. They inject me with just good old morphine. So, a little bit of legal heroin goes a long way. It did make a huge difference. I was much more comfortable after the painkillers took effect. Anyway, what they found was, as I mentioned before, a 4 millimeter stone in the right kidney that was on its way out. And they also detected other stones in the left kidney. So the doctor, the ER doctor at the time, was like, "Yeah, those are gonna have to come out, but for now, just here's a strainer. Go home and start urinating." So I had to naturally pass that stone. I took the next day off from work, but then I went to work the following day. So I was on, 1,000 milligrams of whatever painkiller they had prescribed, and I just kind of worked through it, teaching while suffering. Yeah, crazy. Because as a lecturer, I only get one day off, so I only could take one day off. Anyway, so that was exciting and horrible, and it kind of knocked me out for about a month. It took about a month to recover back to what felt like normal. And in the meantime, I went and had some other scans, and they're like, "Yeah, you should see this urologist." So I went and I got a urologist, and he looked over my other scans, and he was like, "Look, there's this other stone about the same size, 3 to 4 millimeters, in your left kidney. And there are some treatment options. And the one I'm going to suggest or recommend was the what he called extracorporeal shockwave lithotripsy. So that's essentially where they externally send really high frequency sound waves into your body, into the kidney, breaking up the calcium, the stones, to oxalate in my case. And then you pass the remnants, like you pass the debris. So apparently, when I looked over the medical documentation of the procedure, the first session failed and the stone did not break up. The second session that was done sequentially, so in the same procedure, it was successful. They were able to sort of round off the stone and make it easier for me to pass. The byproduct of that, though, the result of that was that there were these little tiny pieces left over in my kidney. And they figured, okay, just leave it alone. Maybe it'll get flushed out. So the doctor, put me on sort of like a low oxalate diet, and then prescribed that I, have to drink about 100 ounces of fluids every day, clear fluids like water. So I've been doing pretty well on that for this last long time now. I mean, that procedure took place in June, 2 years ago. So June 2021. The follow-up exam, like about 6 months after the procedure, also saw the debris remained in the kidney and it wasn't quite going anywhere and it kind of had sunk down a little bit. And he said, well, let's just keep up the water and diet regime and see what happens. And then I didn't get scheduled for another appointment until now. So it's been a long time. Yeah. It's been, what, a year and a half since it's December. So 18 months or something like that, right? Yeah. Anyway, in this most recent follow-up, it turns out that the debris in the left kidney in the lower ventricle has kind of reformed, and now it's a conglomerate, and it's like 5 millimeters. There's no other kidney stones in the right side, but in the left side where they did the procedure, there's now this other like stone that's there that appears to be the same material that was there earlier, and now it's just kind of collected together. So the doctor was like, and this was literally 2 days ago, the doctor said, it's too far in the lower left ventricle of the kidney or whatever. And so the extracorporeal shockwave lithotripsy isn't really an option at this point. So he suggested doing the laser lithotripsy, which means that he's going to use a scope with a basket and a laser on it. He's going to enter my body through my privates, go through the bladder, up the ureter tube, into the kidney, then kind of like curve down and hit the stone with a laser, break it up, grab the pieces with his little basket that's on the end of the scope, and then pull it out, put a stent in, and some sort of plastic sheath that he described that I'm not quite clear on what the heck that even means. And then leave all of that in for about a week, let the fluids drain out and any other debris, and then go back in, take the stent out, take the plastic sheath out, or whatever that's going to be. And then I'll be back to on my road of recovery after that. So as you can imagine, I wasn't very pleased with that news. Basically the doctor's saying, he's going to shove a camera up my dick with a laser attached to it, fire it off inside of my body, grab the debris, and then pull it all out. And then leave a foreign object inside of me for a week and then pull that out. So I'm sort of going through the various stages of frustration and anger and depression. There's a little dark humor in there too, I suppose. Like one of the aftercare parameters in the instructions was like, take a warm bath. It'll help with the burning. oh, nice. Okay, great. So I got some burning to look forward to. Wonderful. Anyway, my procedure now isn't scheduled until June 2024, right? So I got to wait 6 months. So I got to deal with that psychological sort of trauma of knowing that this is going to happen and just having to wait for it. Oh, and then in the meantime, the doctor said, look, while that stone that's in there is pretty low, there is a chance that it might try to come out on its own in the interim period. So I'm playing a little bit of Russian roulette there with my left kidney, in the sense that it might try, and I don't know if I mentioned this, he thinks it's about a 5 millimeter stone. If it tries to come out on its own, that would be really bad, like really, really bad, probably requiring, immediate intervention, because it won't make it out of my body if it's too large. and I already have some scar tissue in that ureter tube, so it could get jammed up in there, and then I have to have all kinds of surgery, and that just would be bad news. So I decided I'm gonna film this sort of series, documenting my path. A documentary is what I was trying to say. It's a documentary of my kidney stone journey. How about that? And I'm using this as a way to sort of give myself some therapy, because I don't really have anyone to talk to because it's such a personal thing. So might as well just share it with everyone in the whole freaking world. Why not? It's a little bit more impersonal, it seems, though. And it impacts the other things, like I'm still single, so I'd be going on dates, and it's like, yeah, we I'm generally healthy, but I have kidney stones, and I'm gonna have a procedure in a few months. Like, wonderful. Who the hell wants to date someone like that? So anyway, I have to get over that too. Get over the sort of self pity of it all. Sorry, there's this little fly that keeps flying around. Anyway, so I'll film this series, and if it helps anyone go through the process, then that's kind of the whole point. So I hope all of you are doing well. Take care of yourselves, would you? Drink lots of water, and I'll see you in the next one.